Welcome back. All of the info is at the end of the video and some tips and secrets. We are back to do Divine Masculine's read and it's looking great. So I'm super excited about this and I hope you guys are. So let's see what is happening with the Divine Masculine, and we are live on Friday. So if you do want to come through, we are live on Fridays and the time's changing on the 13th of the live sessions. Pay attention to the community tab. If you do want an update and you don't want to be the 10% on YouTube, I do have a link directly below which will give you the updates for every live session we have and new content coming out. It is on the website now. So okay, what I'm seeing coming through for Divine Masculine is a wow wake up, okay? And this is great. This is the moment both they and we have been waiting for. I did say during the month, and for those of you that follow me with the star sign subscriptions, where these things were coming up in the twin flame path and how this was directly affecting Divine Masculines. Now, do have a look at Divine Feminine's read because it's going to give you tips on how to handle this. Number one, I would say, for those of you who have been in communication, it's important to understand that they are moving through and experiencing the 12th house. So initially, it doesn't necessarily mean it's pretty. The new moon was in the house of Pisces. It is to do with their psychology as well as their emotions. Okay, so it's deemed as the house of spirituality. It's got a lot of links to it, but what I'm seeing at the moment is initially it might look a little bit toxic, but it's going to be, it's groundbreaking. It's ending a 12 house cycle and it's the transformation. It can be a 6-month portal, but again, it's quite large this month. There's quite a breakthrough for them. So we have, let's get, and I'm reading these intuitively, and some of them are from the book, but it is intuitive because I am a psychic medium. So the crowning energy for them is this, and I love the fact that it's come through with the purple, because this month we have both feminine energies in the moon, which emotional in the yin yang. It's coming through, which both parties are looking at. Feminines potentially can be a little bit masculine this month, and masculines can be in their intuition, in their feels, and logically looking at these things, but also maybe trying to avoid some of these things, which is going to transform nevertheless. So the purple coming through is coming from the crown chakra of the new moon in Pisces. It's very psychic in nature. We can be quite prone to psychic attacks. The blue also in the shadow effect is the full moon pending on the 18th of Virgo, and it's very Mercury in nature. It can be where we're casting a critical eye to reach a closure point, and I'm noticing the reflection of the yellow, which at the moment, the key areas that are coming up for masculine is family, home, childhood, tribe, potentially unwell relative, to do with their self-esteem, their confidence, being their authentic self. All of these things are coming up. So the crowning energy at the moment is expressing the thoughts that they're having right now, which is, why am I doing these things? Why am I feeling this way? What is my hope and dream? Psychic. It's very psychic in energy. So they're going to be tuning into, they're going to be feeling how they feel on their side of the fence. If there's a little bit of projection, try to not personalize it. It's a temporary situation we're going through, but it can actually come through a little bit projectile. Could it be that it's causing a bit of toxicity? Yes, it can be. And I had a really candid chat to a lovely Patreon on YouTube, and we were talking about some ways the Pisces energy can play out this month, and it can be subjects to do with animals in the media. It can be subjects to do with paraphernalia. In news, it may be, what's another thing? There was a few other things, and I rattled them off. Again, there's always a higher and a lower. So with Divine Masculine, I'm seeing at the moment, from a psychological point of view, they're looking at their life and they're realizing some patterns that are there. They're realizing some tension points, be it it's a karmic, be it it's a circumstance that they've outgrown. Now, they may very temporarily so try to hold on to that old frequency. But what I'm seeing, it's like it's coming back like a bat out of hell, because their past tense position is where they're coming to now and what they're addressing, which is the past. This is passion of the wild red mother. It's a 9. Okay? They're coming out of hermit mode, out of that spirit. They've learned a lesson. There is something they're learning through this transit. It's anger. They're very much Jupiter and Mars energy, which we can see through after Venus retrograde, which was a very red chakra in nature. It's very base chakra in orientation. It's wounds from the past. It's inner childhood. It's to do with their stability and structure, finances, motivation, notation. They are looking at it very differently. And it's really strange. I mean, in tuning into this, it's funny how it looks like a Buddha. Okay? Looks like a spiritual guru standing there. It's like they're meeting themselves. And I'm seeing two energies here. One who is standing here in judgment and sort of looking down. And the other who is standing the spiritual core sense, as above, as below, seeing the past in a very different shape. They are looking at their life. I'm also seeing the Devil card in Tarot above the top. I'm seeing that it's to do with detail. They're having a revelation. They're like, okay, I've been at war. I've been sweeping these things under the carpet. These are the things I need to deal with. They are looking back at their old self there, but it's reflective. It's almost like they're having a 101. They're remembering back. They're regressing. They're coming back to this moment and then back to the past. But this is causing integration. This is a rebirth for them in their heart. I think it's the saddest thing when we have a revelation that something we were doing we never had to do. Something we were doing by society's standards, what actually was what we were doing. But when we realise our bodies are not saying the same thing and matching that, it is to do with spirituality. And I feel they're really focusing on their calling. It's like their soul's calling them to connect. Their soul's calling them to listen to their own internal emotions of how they feel as a human being. And you will find a lot of masculine / males on the planet at the moment are going through this. So if you have a brother or a father or a male energy in your life or your twin, right now it will be higher in the males linking to twin flame path, masculines, doesn't have to be a male, but overall you will see slight undertones of these vibrations coming through. I do feel they're thinking about you quite a bit. I do feel they're actually looking at, okay, I want to have a deep connection. It's funny. Life beyond death, it's very 8th house placement, where that is where Scorpio is at the moment. So from a spiritual point of view, this individual wants something that is going to stand the test of time. They want something to depend on in a very intimate, loving way. They want to be nurtured and loved for who they are. The thing that they're realising is they hadn't been doing such to themselves. You know, sometimes sort of what we require from others is what we don't do for ourselves. Once we own that's what we need and we accept and we forgive ourselves, that's when we can attract that same vibration. I do feel if there was an individual they were doing something for, and it was for that person, not necessarily for their high benefit. They're really weighing that on the scales at the minute. I also feel that, again, with yellow, it is where they are looking at their family and their tribe. They're sort of asking themselves, okay, now that I know all of this, now that I'm dealing with this vibration between now and the end of next week, because I am going to do another update. I have been late, but we're going to have 2 to look at. So very much some energies can move through and they can be, and I should really have them out earlier so that we can directly look, because some of us will bounce through these cycles extremely quickly. The foundation is they're coming into wholeness with themselves. I do feel at a foundational level, they're having this honest look at life. And they're realising they were being things for other people, but it was splitting them in half. It was actually taking them away from their true vibration. I also feel with this, they felt that they were having an identity crisis. Sometimes it can look like a midlife crisis. They're looking at patterns and cycles. They're looking at ways they had chosen to put their own personal needs on hold. Definitely from a behaviour sense, it's like, you know, we always say that. It's like, why have I done what I've done? Why do I do what I do? I'm noticing the blue here. The blue, again, with the Mercury energy and the yellow, like the creativity, what we put in, how our emotions are, sweeping our emotions under the carpet, putting other needs above our own. You actually can't do that permanently without it directly impacting you. And I feel because they have the 12th house, their body is directly being affected by it. I do feel by the end of the week, they are going to start getting quite energetic. We're going to go into the extension shortly. Okay, what are their intentions towards Divine Feminine? Oh, they're valuing you. I do feel they're thinking about you quite a bit. I feel there's regrets. Again, Mercury in nature. Some tension is coming from, the way they're acting at the moment can be coming from the 12th house and can be coming from a direct environment that they haven't addressed yet. So if you directly are in communication with this individual, potentially they're coming through like fire, because they haven't filled their cup and they're dealing with that. There can be a situation relating to finances which is causing tension for some. But you may be presuming that this individual doesn't value you, but it is to do with a situation very separate to you that is playing out, that is causing some sense of angst. I feel deep down subconsciously they feel unless that is resolved, they can't be with you. For those of you in the connection at the minute, there is a change of plan and there could be a circumstance, again, relating to, you know, a transitioning over of a soul that they're directly connected to, an ending chapter coming into their life, making peace with that process, that it is delaying things, but they kind of feel after that, they've done the full cycle. They've done the full circle. I'm being shown that a wound is coming up. Oh, this is quite okay. A wound is coming up. Now, for those of you that had been in communication with this individual, we both have to be on both sides of the fence extremely careful, because this month, really moving on from this point when you receive this video all the way to the end of the month, what we do need to understand is we have the moon that is occurring in Virgo. From an emotional point of view, it is an ending. From a spiritual point of view, it's ascension and orientation, but it's thoughts and actions we need to be careful on not being critical. But it's linked to Aries and Chiron. It's linked to Chiron energy. We also have a lot of Aries placements, so it's bringing it up even further. I get this feeling that there is a circumstance at the moment, and it's sort of like that piggy in the middle, pulled between two worlds. I feel this is a beautiful opportunity for Divine Masculine and for Divine Feminine to realize on each other side of the fence where these new chapters are coming from, and also what these wounds were, in a realization of what we felt we needed to be and where we were, you know, because I feel if one side of the fence has actually put their foot down and said, look, you need to resolve this situation in order for this to be successful. You even can do that in your third eye where you're mentally feeling it. Once that situation's alchemized, it's going to move. Some of you from the Divine Feminine's point of view, I feel you may not have felt this is possible. If this person has stated, look, they're very loyal, they're very committed, they're going to do this forever, it's showing that they're not. It's showing that this may have been an angst-orientated statement piece or an attitude they've taken, and it might have taken, like 2 years we had the South Node in Sagittarius, you wouldn't have seen the movement then. Now we are seeing this movement this month for the very first time. 12th house movement. Come in and see the extension if you wish to. Otherwise, I'll see you live on Fridays. We are changing the date on the 13th, so come through. It will be a different time. Read the community tab. If you want your updated notifications, come through and have a look at the website and I'll give you the updates. Take care. We do bring weekly content to you that does have extensions. If you need the link, it's directly below. Very separately, on a very exciting level, we have the Star Sign subscription being launched. It will be open before the end of the month and launched for March 2022. We also have the Twin Flame subscription. Now, both of these can be bought in duo, and with the duo packs and the higher levels, we do have the free guided meditation video and audio tracks, which are being added to. 2 extra channels, as I mentioned, lives during the week on Friday. Click the bell for the notification, and I'll see you on the other side for your star signs. For private sessions, my contacts are below.